Hi, what's going on, everybody? Just wanted to catch everybody up. So I was unable to do a video last week. We were in a hurry to get these bees in their hives. Basically what we've done is we have purchased 6 nucleus colonies. A nucleus colony consists of 5 frames of bees, and basically you take the 5 frames out of the nucleus colony and you drop it into your 10 frame box. That's like these that are behind me. So we've got 6 of those. We've still got the hive from last year that overwintered successfully. That's the one closest to me on the end here. And so we have 7 total. So what we're gonna do today is this is gonna be, I peeked my head in them yesterday to kind of see what equipment I might need. And I noticed that we've got, somehow I've mixed them up. We've got some frames inside that were single waxed from the factory. That's basically the plastic foundation that the bees make their comb on. Bees won't make any comb on just plastic, so you have to coat them in wax. Most of the factories will do a single wax coating, and that usually is not enough to entice them to draw up comb correctly the way we want them to. And so we had some of them that were making some wonky looking comb sideways instead of along the foundation's edge. So I have brought out about 20 frames of double waxed foundation so that they'll lay correctly. And so we're just going to get into them. I'm going to kind of walk you through what I'm going to be looking at, and just double check and make sure our queens are good, that we're queen right. We're going to be looking for eggs. Obviously there's going to be some capped brood. Some of these hives, when we were transferring them over, were actually loaded with capped brood, meaning that we're going to have a lot of baby bees being born over the next week or two. Beautiful day in March. I believe today is March 8th, and the high today is almost 80 degrees. I believe it's going to be like 79, 78 degrees. And so the bees, as you can see, are just in overdrive. It's really cool to have multiple hives next to each other. As a beginning beekeeper, last year I only had 1 hive, so I didn't really have anything to compare one hive to the next. And so as we go through here, you'll actually see the temperament change from hive to hive. Even looking at the entrances, you can see the difference. Some of the hives are just bees pouring out, bees pouring in, loaded down with pollen. And then some of the more timid hives, just, 3, 4, 5 bees at a time, just slowly but surely. They're all healthy, but some are certainly better off than others. So without further ado, let's jump right in. All right, so here we go. One of the things that you're going to see me do today is we are going to be feeding the bees. We feed them a 1-to-1 white sugar to water ratio mix. And what this does is it encourages them to draw comb. We're using blank foundations. And I'll show you what I mean when I say a blank foundation as we go through this hive. As you can see, these are our 5 frames from our nucleus colony that we purchased. These 2 on the outside are going to be our blank foundation. Let me show you what that looks like. So this is blank foundation. It's just plastic with a little bit of wax coating on it to encourage the bees to draw out their regular comb. And we are going to be getting rid of this because this is what I was talking about earlier, how somehow I have mixed up some frames. I thought I had all double waxed in here, and I do not have that. So let me go grab one and I'll show you the difference. So this has been waxed on top of the factory wax. So you can see the difference. The bees are going to love this, and the hives that we have that double wax in are actually doing really good and drawing out the comb correctly. So we're going to set that to the side. Basically all these that are marked 23. You see how all those bees went back up as soon as that smoke disappeared. We're going to drive them back down. So they get out of my way, and oh good, we're going to be able to show some of that wacky comb that they've been building. It kind of stinks that I did that. That was a huge mess up on my part, because unfortunately that's a week's worth of foundation buildup that was basically for nothing. And you can kind of see that goofy looking comb that they're building is just not going to work. So these pieces here would eventually attach to the frame next to them, and then we would just have a mess on our hands. So we're going to do away with that, and then we're going to check out how we are looking on some of this good comb, the original frames, and see if we can find our queen. This particular hive, I have not found the queen. I know she's in there because when I installed it, we were looking at eggs, and just on that outside frame we've already got some larvae, some capped brood. So you can see that capped brood right there. I don't see any eggs on this frame, so I'm gonna say the queen is probably not here. A little bit more, a couple drones. If you see some of those bigger bees, those are actually the males. Yeah, I do not see the queen on here, so we're just going to slide this one to the side. We've actually got a little bit of brood on both sides, so I'm going to say the next frame is probably going to be loaded with brood. Yep, a little bit lighter. And let's see. Yep. Just taking a quick look to see if we can see the queen on here. A lot of pollen coming in. I'm not seeing, I don't see any eggs on that frame. I don't see her on that one either. So when they send you a nucleus colony of bees, they always send one blank frame, a foundation that's free of comb for the bees, you know, it gives the bees something to do. So this is going to be their fresh frame. You can tell by the difference in the color of the wood. And yes, a lot of this is uncapped brood at the moment. I do see some eggs, so I'm going to say we are possibly going to find our queen on this frame. A lot of drones. Heavy frame, probably got a lot of sugar. That's a lot of syrup. There's our queen. Right there. See if I can hold this with one hand. She was just on the corner and I missed her. There she is right there. That is our queen. See her. Good. Alright, we've found the queen. I'm not worried about marking her at this time. I am worried about just getting all of this undrawn foundation out of here and switched out with some good stuff. So this foundation actually is not horribly drawn, actually. Got a little bit of weird stuff going on right there, but I still would rather put that double wax foundation. I think they'll draw it much faster, so we're going to get these bees off of here. You can see how they draw it in these almost like little mounds. And we just, that's not going to work. There you go, there's your wax, double wax frame. They are going to like that much better. We're going to draw everything back in, try to keep everything tight. Went ahead and smoked my hands. You can actually put smoke on your hands, and that kind of encourages them to leave you alone. Go ahead and put this last bit of foundation in. And just like that, we're pretty much back to zero, where we should have been a week ago. But unfortunately, we were not. Same thing here. We're try to tighten everything up. So we want that bee space right there to be just big enough for a bee. Any bigger and they'll start connecting combs together. Kind of like here, you can see they've done a little bit right there. And we don't want burr comb. That's what this comb is called on the top of the hive, or on the frame rather. So it's been a week, 7 days, and we topped these off. These are 1.5 gallon in-frame feeders, and they have drank almost all of it. Alright, that's all it is. So we're going to go a little bit faster on the rest of them, but that's just to show everybody how we work a hive. Check, if you will. And that's it. Alright, so really quickly I wanted to show everybody what a queen cup looks like. So that is a queen cup, and that is where the hive is planning on swarming. The old queen will take half the hive with her. Up to half a hive, sometimes a little bit less. And the new queen, the queen that will be, this is a dry one, there's nothing in it, but that does mean that they are preparing, I guess. I've heard some beekeepers call that a practice cell because it is pretty early, but not out of the ordinary. I didn't expect to come across one so quickly, but it's there.